but just not in this way, like, and not for this in this system, because it just seems like it's not just, my hospital or hospital in Florida or in New York or Missouri or Tennessee. It's kind of everywhere that people are frustrated because so much is put on you as a nurse and it's hard to cope with. And the system doesn't really care about you as the nurse or the patient population. They care so much about making money. And I'm just was like really frustrated by that knowledge. And I'm like, I don't want to work for this broken system. I want to help people, but I can't continue to put my mental and physical health at risk for these companies that don't care about me or the patients that I'm taking care of. And that really was like something that hit home to me, because I'm like, if they don't care, then like, what am I like? I'm like breaking my back and like going home crying because I'm, so like trying to really help these people, and like the system doesn't care. They're like, take this, do this, and it's just been so frustrating. And I know it's not just like my experience. A lot of nurses are frustrated and just like overwhelmed at the ratios, and not even just like, unsafe patient ratios. I mean, nurses are getting assaulted left and right,
Yeah.
and then nurses are getting arrested for making a mistake, but they might not have made that mistake if they had had a safe patient ratio, if they had had the support staff they need, if they had working equipment, if they had the supplies, like if everything was how it was supposed to be, maybe these things wouldn't be happening. But we're getting so burnt out, and I feel like the system relies on our empathetic nature as nurses to not speak up. When you see about nurse protests and stuff, a lot of nurses are like, well, I can't leave my patients. And this,
Mhm.
I feel like the system, and not just like one healthcare system like this or this one, the whole healthcare as a whole really relies on the fact that nurses are not going to stand up and say, we're not okay with this anymore. They're like, well, we have to take care of our patients. And that's how I think a lot of us feel. And I felt like that for a long time. But now I want to be like a voice for people and say, like, it's okay if, maybe we could actually make a change in the healthcare system if nurses would collectively and loudly really speak up about what we're having to go through in our everyday career. Because most people, if you're not in healthcare, don't realize what nurses are put through on a day-to-day basis, but just not in this way, like, and not for this in this system, because it just seems like it's not just, my hospital or hospital in Florida or in New York or Missouri or Tennessee. It's kind of everywhere that people are frustrated because so much is put on you as